have them in our program, and for us, at least give them an opportunity to learn about what our school is all about. We take pride in that. So, junior days coming up, right? We'll have our Black Bear team camp coming up. So if you're a team, right? You would like to bring your entire team and stay the night, right, on campus in the dorms. We would love to have you, right? We have Coach Garner, who's our recruiting coordinator, running the show. We would love to have you guys. From the coaches that were there last year, it was a great experience for kind of some team bonding, right, to get you guys closer together. But then also, like, we'll run drills with you guys, right? We'll help coach you up our techniques, and we'll have some informational sessions every single night talking about our defensive scheme, offensive scheme, strength and conditioning when it comes to nutrition as well. But we want to use it as a use for you, right? So please, we would love to have you guys. Any questions, please let me know. And, right, these are our one-day elite camps, right? So June 23rd, we'll be at our campus, right? And if you don't want to make the drive up to Orono, which we would love for you to do, we'll be down at UNE's campus, right, on the blue turf, right? So we'd love to see you guys there. And then finally, any youth clinics, right? We do that too. Our players are very engaged with that stuff. They're running drills. We're out there supporting. It's a fun time. You can teach a 6-year-old how to run the hoop, right? Start them early. So, any questions at the end of this, please just let me know. Okay, so right here, just going into what our attitude, right, our defensive philosophy, and specifically with the D-line, we call ourselves the Diamonds, right? For us, it all starts with our attitude, right? So to win a football game, we believe in what it starts up front, right? On the offensive side, defensive side. Coach Stevens on Friday nights, he lets the O-line and D-line, right, get their steak first before anybody else. That's nice, right? So for us, it all starts with your energy, right? Get everything that you have, right? Have a little say, what will you get today so we can win tomorrow. Right, purpose, understand what you're doing as a defensive lineman, an O-lineman, right? Guys starting up front. It's for the man next to you. You have to be extremely humble. And if it's a third down, you get a sack, then yes, celebrate a little bit. Right, but for us, we need to be extremely humble with what you do. And we have a saying, everything you put on tape is either an invitation or a warning. When they turn on the tape, oh, you're some badass dudes up front, I better strap up. Or it's an invitation, someone thinks that they can kick your ass. And for us, we're sitting out warnings. Every single time someone turns on the tape and watches you, oh shit, right? That's our mentality, right? And then poise, have the ability to do the right thing, play the next play, right? Because a lot of kids get distracted, right, with messing up on the football field, something happening off the football field where they can't enjoy, right, their time and actually playing football. So we talk about poise, talking about poise, okay? For our run progression, right, this is for defensive line specifically, I'm going to use the term strike, see, tear, go. Right, strike the man on, right? So if you're a defensive lineman, right, your hand is in the dirt, right? I'm aligned over the center, right? I'm going to strike the man on. When we say strike, we want to fully separate. We're trying to segment it out. Strike, fully separate, making a W, right, with your hands. And we'll go on to the slide next. Before I see, right? You want to strike and separate before I see in my gap, right? Once you strike, separate, you see in your gap, then the next thing we talk about is tearing. Right, and after you tear off the block, right, then we say go, run your ass to the football. Okay, so when it comes to that progression, we talk about eyes, big eyes. You gotta see what you hit, can't close your eyes. Right, hips, that's where you get your power from, right? That's why power cleans, hand cleans, squats, that makes defensive lineman, offensive lineman stronger, right? So we believe in hips, that's where your power comes from. Always trying to play square, right? Hands and feet. Notice feet, what we believe in is our feet will follow our hands will follow our eyes, right? So yeah, we want to get off the rock, but what we do believe is, see what you hit, snap your hips through, bring your hands up, and your feet are going to follow, right? Feet are going to follow, okay? And like I just said before, some guys talk about elbows in, right? Thumbs up, right? All good there. I think we all believe, right? When your elbows are out, when you're striking somebody, it's less powerful, right? So what I just tell the defensive line is, just make a W with your hands, right? I don't really see guys in this position too often, right? Would love for them to hit with the heels of their hands, right? Heels of their hands. But for us, just make a W with your hands. If it's a U, elbows are out. If it's a W, the elbows are in. Right? So it's a simple concept. So whenever you do drills, elbows in, thumbs up, right? And most importantly, when I say penetration, right? I want to see guys get off the rock, get knocked back, right, and put the offensive lineman 2 yards back in the backfield, okay? So some drills, right? We always hit the sled. Every single day we have a sled progression. So you're going to see these guys, right? One's in a 3-point, one's in a 2-point. That's our rush, right? That's our defensive end position. How we tell the guys normal stance, right? Feet are shoulder width apart, right? Or slightly wider, depending on if you're closer to the football, nose tackles, right? Regular tackles, and if my laser's in the way, I just saw it on your head, I apologize, right? It's jammed, right? So if you're catching a laser, I apologize for that, right? For you guys though, right? Flat back, eyes are up, you want your ass slightly above your butt, head, right? So normal business with your hands ready to rock and roll, okay? So just sled progression on this, right? We're snapping our eyes, right? Through the sled, bringing our hips, using our hands, right? So you want to see these guys what? Elbows in, thumbs up, elbows in, thumbs up, making a W, right? Making a W. So one thing you notice right here, I'm going on a whistle, right? I am going on a whistle because I'm trying to get as many reps as we possibly can at this, okay? So whistle, 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 right? Then there's going to be times where we what? Just naturally go on a ball. I'm going to put a ball down there. But it's eyes, hips, hands, and feet, right? For these guys, as they snap through, we have a terminology. We want to see your ass eating your shorts, right? We want to see you snap your hips through to where it looks like you got a wedgie, right? Straight up. Looks like you have a wedgie, right? That means you're bringing your what? Hips through, right? Hips through. So that's what we want to see. So you guys see, right? Eyes, hips, hands, and feet, right? They strike and separate, right? We want to see them through their gap and then tear off blocks. Tear off blocks. Right, you can kind of see it segmented out here, right? So like right here, Five's kind of leaving his what? His hips back, right? So this is a bad rep, right? It doesn't look like his ass is eating his shorts. His hips are back. We want to see your hips snap through on contact. So eyes, hips, hands, and feet, you can see moving their head into the block, and then on the third whistle, boom, we're tearing across, right? Tearing across. But just normal, right? Normal drill, just hitting it on the sled, right? A couple more clips. Right, you can see these guys, right, snap their hips through even more, snap their hips through even more. But a good job of these guys, eyes, hips, hands. Once they strike like 92, once he strikes and separates, then he looks, right? And when we look in there, we don't want to turn our body when we want square shoulders, so then we arm over once we see through our gap, right, depending on where the ball goes. Another drill that we'll do, right, just on the pop-up. I like this on the pop-up because it just gives them something to grab, right? So have them grab the back of the pop-up. And all I want to see is when they snap their hips through, right, and separate, I want to see them throw with two, right, to tear off a block, throw with two, right? And you're going to turn your shoulders, I do believe, to get off the block, you need to be violent, right? And the more violent you are trying to throw somebody, your shoulders turn, all is good there. Well, how we operate is then we're going to punch through with our opposite arm. That gets us back to being what? Square, right? So you'll see these guys. I want to see the pop-up hit the ground. That means you're throwing off the block. Throwing, so two, right? Finish with one, and then punching violently through. There are times we'll teach a rip, right? And I think when you are ripping, it's because you're just fully underneath the guy, and you're snapping him back, knees on his heels. It might be more natural just to fucking get off the block and rip, right? But we will teach strike, right? Fully separate, C, right? When we tear, we punch through and arm over, and then we'll run to the ball. Right? You can use people, right? You can do anything that you need there. Any questions?
Coach, you aim it at half a man.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, breastplate, shoulder cuff. Always half a man. Always half a man. Breastplate, shoulder cuff. I apologize. Breastplate, shoulder cuff. Right? So always trying to hit half a man. Yes, sir. Okay? So for this, it's steer progression. So what we have is these guys are actually on the right side of the man, right? We have their inside foot up, showing them what? I'm in contact, so we're in the fit, right? On the snap or the whistle, right? We want these guys to press the offensive linemen. So the offensive linemen are facing the goal line, right? The defensive linemen are facing the field, right? On the snap, the whistle will give them a key. They want to press their linemen flat down the LOS while still trying to what? Push them back in the backfield. So you can see 96 here. He strains to stay what? Square. Right? We strain to stay square and press blocks while still trying to what? Get vertical, right? So this is a drill that we do, right? Drill that we do. Like this guy is too lateral. Too lateral. We want to push the move, right? Playing off our insteps, right? But still trying to drive him back. Right? Now it's the second progression, right? So now I'm striking the man on. I'm getting bumped, right? I'm getting bumped from the adjacent offensive lineman. I still have to make sure I what? Press the offensive lineman flat down the LOS part. Why what? Staying square. Why do we do that? Because when this guy comes off, you don't want your shoulders turned, right? So stay square, press, 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 flatten them out, right? When that guy comes off, we come off, right? Stay square, and then just finish him with the tackle, right? Finish him with the tackle, right? Same drill, but now we're in a stance. So we'll have 2 clips here coming up. For you guys, you can see, right, kind of a shit look, to be honest with you, right? Probably yelling this guy after. Right, well, this is a base block by the offensive lineman, giving them indicators, hey, base block, hey, reach as far as shoulder. What we try and do is we always talk about second key. So once we strike and separate, look in our gap, our second key is the what? Halfback. So generally speaking, if it's downhill run game, any gap scheme, any inside zone, duo, right? Duo fits like inside zone for defenses, tell the offensive guys, right? So for us, we strike and separate, we see square shoulders by the offensive running back. What do? We're patient. Because if he's square, that means he can what? Press, jump cut in either direction. So you gotta show color and be patient. The only time you would 2-gap is when the ball declares and we say at the hip of the offensive line. If, and we'll go to the next, right? If it's wide zone, now we're telling this guy to reach, right? You can see it's reach. Notice how he still gets vertical, love it. Still gets vertical, love it. Now, as soon as you strike separate, you get vertical and you see turn shoulders. What's that mean? It's wide zone, right? It's wide zone. So I'm striking, I'm separating, bang, I see turn shoulders, arm over. Don't wait, arm over, because it's probably going where? Outside the box. Any questions with just those keys? Not rocket science, right? Not rocket science. Here we go, right? So just a clip of what we want to see, right? You can see the nose tackle, right? This is 3rd and 1. Just a big dog getting off the rock. Eyes, hips, hands, and feet, snaps his hips through the offensive center. They just come off and make a play. Like, yeah, it could be arm over 100%. Unfortunately for us, when you play on defense, if you play harder and more aggressive than the other guy across from you, you're probably going to win your rep, right? So just a good job by this guy. Snapping his hips and hands through, driving this man back, right? And then just getting off the block to make the play. Right, so aggression, we want to see penetration. And that means what? Knocking the man off. Putting him in the backfield. Just another clip right here, so we're just in a true field under defense, okay? Looking at the nose specifically, number 91, he's playing a shade on the center, right? So when we have a general roll back, the way to play a shade, back 2 will play a 2-eye, right? Watching him, right? Get off the rock, right? Eyes, hips, hands, feet, boom, snaps and separate. You can see now he's looking. What do you see? Turn shoulders. So this is not a time to be patient. Arm over. Right, arm over and start to run flat down the line. That's a great job by him, right? Great job by him getting what? Vertical. This dude's 3 yards in the back. We love that, right? We love that. You can see it from here, right? Playing a shade, bang, get a knockback. And what we say too, right? And I always ask the freshman this, right? So like you're getting a reach block by that center, right? And I always ask him right here. He's looking through the wrong gap, right? We all see that. He's looking through the left, bang. We want to look it through the right, looking through the right. But I always ask the young guys, like, hey, is he reached? And some guys will be like, yeah, coach, he's not showing color. And I'll say, fuck no, right? If you put a guy 2 yards back into the backfield, the ball has to what? Bubble. It ain't gonna hit your gap. If it does, get off the block and make a play, right? Get off the block and make a play. So just a good job. Keep going through it, right? Shade technique by the nose tackle here, same thing, just getting vertical, bang, strike, separate. Good job of him, what? Setting edge, showing color. Right, and then, hey, ball cuts up, you cut up. We love that. We love that. We love that. Roll through some more, right? Right, you can look at the nose tackle here. I have an affinity, guys, for deep tackles, right? I like deep tackles. Why? Because you need to be a fucking big dog in the A and B guys, right? You need to be a big dog in the A and B. So same thing here, getting vertical, strikes, separating. Hey, ball cuts up, you cut up. That's a good job by him. Right, cutting off the play. We tell our nose tackles, you should be making every play in the A and B gap. Same thing for our tackles, right? Same thing for our tackles. And you can look here. This is actually like a game, right? So what we're doing is reducing the front. I just like this guy right here, right? Eyes, hips, hands, and feet gets vertical. What we're doing is we're putting this rush defensive end into this A gap. We're trying to allow these guys to reduce, right? Reduce and let these linebackers fall, right? Linebackers fall, right? But it's just a good job of getting up, getting vertical, getting knockback. Like, yeah, what's happening? He's not showing color, but if you drive somebody 2 yards in the backfield, we're good. And he gets planted. right? He gets planted, but getting off the rock, right? Getting off the rock. Keep it going, right? You got a 3-tech here, right? You got a 2-eye here. So we teach the 2-eye, right? The same way as a shade, right? But now you're playing on who? The guard. So same thing, right? We always have our man hand down, right? Man hand down, right? Flat back, eyes are up. I'm getting off the ball, bang, bang, strike, separate. Then I want to do what? See in my gap, show color in my gap. So strike, separate, see. So you see him looking through his gap. We like playing a 2-eye to the back. Why? Our linebackers, we teach these guys to rock, right? In some of our defense, not all of them. But if they're going to rock, right? If this linebacker has this beat and this linebacker is going to fall out, what we'll do is we'd rather have the center work up, right? He falls to this beat. We'd rather have the center work up, not the guard. So now this guy, what we tell him is he should be making all the plays in the what? A and B gap, right? Or it should be A and A, right? Both A gaps. Right, so good job of him getting vertical. Same thing, 3 technique here, right? Strike, separate, right? Tight arm over, we like that. Keep moving, you can see the 3 technique here. He kind of gets bobbled at the start, I'll be real with you, right? He's getting driven off the ball, but he just does a great job continuing to stay square, tight arm over, and get his pads on. We like that, right? He needs to get stronger in the weight room, right? Stronger in the weight room is going to allow him to get more knockback. But that's a good job of what? Striking, running the feet, tight arm over, right? Staying what? Square. Staying square, we like that. Nice job, man. 2-eye, great rep, right? 2-eye, great rep. So you can just see right down here. He's playing a 2-eye to the back, right? Getting vertical, bang, strike, separate. Hey, coach, isn't he reached? Fuck no, right? No. And I'm sorry for the person. I apologize, right? He's not reached. You tell me, he's going to run the ball there? No. Why? This guy's ass is in there, right? He's going to cut back. He's going to cut back. So that's a good job, right? Yeah, I'll tell him, like, hey, just make sure you see through your gap, but I'm praising him. This is nice. This is nice. Keep them moving. Right, another 2-eye rep. Like I said, guys, I love D tacklers. Right, D tacklers are going to stop the run. Right, D ends, yeah, they're good. They're going to set edges, but I'm good. Right, I want big dog D tacklers. Right, so you can look at it here. Right, just the 2-eye. Right, this is a 3rd down. I mean, that's just awesome. Like they're running a split zone. Good luck. Right, good luck. Right, you love that. You love that. Right, man hand down, and you can kind of see him. There, you see how his left hand is down as well? I will tell these guys, and you'll see it from some D linemen. We want flat backs, right? So when you get in your stance, some guys are what? Like they're leaning a little bit. So I tell these guys, put your opposite hand down to what? Flatten your back. Right? Flatten your back. Right? And it's not like heavy weight, they're just keeping their hand in, right? Just keeping their hand in. But a good job by him just getting off the rock. Right? Another 2-eye rep here. This is a good one, right? This is a good one. Right, keep it moving. Right, getting vertical, strike, separate. Like look, you can see the progression. Eyes, hips, hands, separate, feet. Then he looks. Square shoulders, he should be what? Patient. Patient. He cuts up, you cut up. We love that. We love that. Right? Good job of him setting the edge, right? Getting vertical strikes, separate. Like we want to see this on tape. If you can see an offensive line's head bobbling, right? That gives you a great look, right? Strike, separate, see it, right? If you have leverage on the ball, compress this offensive lineman back. There's a couple more of those, right? So like those are all base blocks, slight breeze blocks. We teach some of the 3 techniques, right? Like you want to get off the rock. So naturally, I think when you see gap scheme, right? When you see gap scheme, there's some rules that we have. If you see gap scheme and you're a 3 technique, right? You're a 3 technique. You know you have an A-gap player that's a defensive lineman here. If you see gap scheme where your guard pulls, we tell them to U-turn, right? Because I want these guys getting off the rock. It's hard to tell these guys to fire off the ball, and then he pulls and you stop your feet and then go back and compress. Right, so what we tell these guys is, hey, when you U-turn, I know this is pass, when you U-turn, right, try and grab claw, right, beat the center with speed, right, like run the hoop, dip the rip, run the hoop. Because what's going to happen, if they try and run gap scheme, the ball's going to be in front side and then cut back, well, we got a 2-eye or a shading game gap, right? So if they're going to run it there, we expect the other nose to be in front. Some guys bang it, whatever they want, right? Another clip with the U-turn here. Right, another clip of the U-turn. We've got a little blitz. right? The free technique, you can see he gets vertical. See how he dips his shoulder, right? Same thing, reduce your surface. You're square, you can knock it off, reduce your surface. Love to grab claw, right? If you can slingshot yourself, normal business, right? But a good job of him getting vertical. Like, choose his ass for. Here we go, right time game. This is versus pass. Any questions? Okay, movements, right? Just generally speaking, when I say movements, we're going to talk one gap movement. So I'm aligned in the C gap, I got to go to what? B. I'm aligned in the B gap, I got to go to the what? A. Makes sense. If I'm in the A, I go to the opposite A. One gap movements, okay? Whenever we are stunting, right? So if I'm stunting to my left, what does that mean? I want to load up my right foot with my weight, right? So when I load up my right foot, I can what? Press off, right? You don't want more of a balanced stance because then it's going to be harder to what? Transition and then push. Does that make sense to you guys? So I tell these guys, hey, when you're in a left hand down stance, right, rock your weight back in your stance. Why? So you have the weight on your instep. We want to step lateral first and then get vertical. Flat step, vertical, right? So we tell these guys to rock their weight back, load up their instep on the opposite foot, and push off. You can also tighten up your base, right? You tighten up your base, right? That allows you to push off and still be in a position of what? Power. Guys who have wide bases, right? And their feet are outside the frame. You take a 6-inch lateral step, you don't have a frame to then get vertical. Does that make sense to you guys? So we're fine with them what? Tightening up their base. So just some drills, right? So we put a board here, right? This is a 3-whistle drill. It's whistle, push off, right? Transition your weight. You want to see it going from the right to the left. Right to the left. And on the 3rd whistle, they're just firing out. Trying to make sure they're what? Toes are pointed forward, right? Toes are pointed forward. Same thing here, but now we'll hit the sled. Flat step, vertical, like it, right? Flat step, vertical, like it. And there's tearing, right? They got to go to what? One gap. Laser, fall, right? Flat step, vertical, strike, right? Now it's what? Tear across. So putting the board there so they understand it's a true what? 6-inch step. If it's 8 inches, I'm fine, right? I'm fine, right? And then just working some drills with it, right? Block reaction, right? We key the opposite pad tip. So this pad tip comes to, get vertical, redirect, right? Redirect. But it's a good job of him going flat, toes pointed forward, transitioning his eyes to the next man. Like right here, this goes back to what you saw on the sled. You want a flat step, so it could be what? More flat. Put these guys in a line, right, so they can see their feet when it comes to the drill. Put them on a line, back coaching, right? But right here, it's flat step. Hey, you got a turnout block, strike, and then what? Tear across, right? Got to tear across. If this guy were to what? Just zone down and away, take it from the backside, right? Take it from the backside, right? Aligning on main, keying the opposite pad tip, beat him across the space. Base lock, strike, tear. He goes down, you bend. He comes to, redirect and get vertical. Right, and then just another clip, right? Now it's underneath the shoe, same exact message, cross and face, right, of one offensive lineman, getting vertical, bringing your hands to the next. Like for us, just so you understand what we're doing, like this is a pop-up, right? No, some of these pop-ups are wide. We're okay with that, right? If they understand the drill, we're going across one pop-up, getting vertical, right, showing we're what? Beating the man we're aligned on with speed. When we hit the pop-up, we're fine with them kind of almost like wobbling through because we're teaching them what? Chest needs to be down and they're pushing the pop-up down. Right? Good pad level in the shoe. It's a great drill for them. All right, let's watch some. DH, short stick, this says. Right, so like right here, you can see this five technique. We're bringing the blitz off the edge. Right, so for him, it's a one gap movement to the what? B. Flat step, get vertical, don't chase. Nice job of him getting vertical, right? So when this man zones to you, just cross face, right? So his eyes, right? His eye progression, opposite pad tip, flat step, right? He comes to me, I'm getting vertical. This guard ain't coming to me, I'm playing in the backfield. I'm playing in the backfield. So a good job of him just playing in the backfield, getting vertical. You like that? You like that? This right here. Change of speed on tape. Jogging, then starts to run. Low. Low. Short stick at vertical. Right, you can see up here some of the comments. Short stick at vertical. I believe we're at the top up here. Man, right? So we got a 6 technique and a 3 technique, right? Both of these guys, one gap movements, we're bringing a 5-man pressure from the boundary, so it's a full line movement, right? So for these guys, 3 technique. He needs to take a flat step, bring the inside plan of who? The guard, right? Guard comes to him, get vertical play off the center, right? This guy base blocks, strike tear off the block, right? Makes sense for you guys? Trying to beat him across space. This guy's in the C, aiming for this what? Opposite pad tip, right? So you can see just a different key now, right? Now their key is what? Right? The 3 technique. This guy's pulling to him, flat step, get vertical, right? This guy, right? This rush defensive end. His guy goes down, take it from the backside. So you got to transition your eyes. I'm a flat step, he goes down. Boom, I'm getting vertical. What's coming back? If something's coming back, then it just gaps you. Try and blow it up. Yeah, we would love for him to spill it out to our blitz. Just go play fast. Just go play fast. We're good. We're good. Just go play fast. Right? Skip this one. Well, actually, no. Right? So like right here, he does a bad job here. Okay, this is actually an example of a bad job, right? This is versus Richmond. So same pressure, right? Now it's a 2-man surface, right? So when this guy goes down, right, we got to do a great job of, hey, if he goes down, I need a what? Backdoor to get to the B. Now, when you key, right, that opposite pad tip, if he's square, when he steps, what's that mean? That's how he'll come back, right? That's how he'll come back. So you got to be deliberate with what you're doing. As soon as he steps down and you're saying, all right, he's going down, I need a back door. Because him being indecisive with his hands and what he's doing allows this guy to what? Come back. That's his B gap. His linebacker's just correcting him. Right? So if it's square shoulders and you put your hands there and you get pressure, you need to push. We say cheek. Put his ass to the B gap and then cross space. But if there's no pressure on your first step, back door. Back door. Right? So like we lucked out here, right? Because he tried the back door, kind of back door. QB saw him going down, so he pulled the ball. Nice. He makes a play. He's happy. Like, all right, good, right? We'll give you 2 pluses, right? But it needs to be better, right? It needs to be better. Guys, I'm going through it. Just put your hand up. Just yell at me, please, right? If you have any questions with it, what we're reading. I want to try and get through all of it. The last coach said, so you had 2 hours of film for 50 minutes. Safe, right? More than that, right? So just talk to me if you need a question answered. Like, hey, what's he doing here? Where should his hands be, please? Here we go, right? So short stick, 2 gaps. So now you're seeing this 3 technique, right? So for him, right? He needs to get to the what? A, wide zone away. Same side, wide zone. Get schemed up, right? Same side, wide zone. So for him, flat step, couldn't take a better step. Why isn't he? Feet are outside his frame, right? Feet are outside his frame. Same thing here, right? He looks tired. He looks tired in this stance, right? So for these guys, flat step, I'm getting pressure. I gotta press and then tear across, right? I gotta get to this A gap. And if I can't get in there, I gotta use my hands and put his ass in the A gap. I'm talking about 92. Right, 5 does a good job, back step, steps underneath himself, false step. So right now, it doesn't look like his weight's where, pushing off his right. Right, that's a bad step. Luckily for him, he bench press 500 pounds. He puts his hands on, he can strike to separate, sets an edge. Once you set an edge, ball cuts up, you cut up. It's a great job by him, right? But he needs a better first step, right? Minus plus, better step. Right, short stick away, right? Short stick away. So like now right here, you see 92, right? So he's a 3 technique. And just so you can kind of see this, they're not set, they're getting set and need more urgency, right? Getting the line. We will have rules, right? If the back is away from me, we'll be a little bit wider in our alignments. Back is to me, we'll be a little bit tighter in our alignments. There's the normal rules, right? 1, 2, run away. Back's away is probably run to me, right? Back's to me is probably run away, right? So we'll have those general rules, right? But like this, right? So flat step, right? Use your hands. He's too high, but he's playing fast, so I'm good. Does a good job of what? Staying square, right? Staying square. This is bad. This is bad right here. So same thing, right? Phoenix puts the boundaries with our safety, right? For him, right? 3 technique, or excuse me, the rush is a 6-eye. Tackle goes down, he bangs. He needs to get his ass in here. He can't pad back. He's going to get the B gap. He pads back into the tight end. We're screwed if this guy's not there. That ball's ripping us, right? That ball's ripping us, right? So that's bad by him. Bad by him. Good job of him winning with speed, right? Staying square. And even a good job by this guy. Flat step vertical, setting an edge with pressure. It's a good job of the DTs. Like I said, love DTs. I love defensive tackles. Love defensive tackles. Right, Wrangler, this is a good clip. This is a really good clip. So like the clip I showed with the sled and the one gap movement, this is directly that. Okay. So this 3 technique, right? He tightened up the line, he takes a flat step, he's square, right? This guy's trying to what? Base him. He's trying to cut him out, right? Cut him off from the wide zone. He does a good job with his pad level, he uses his hands, he stays square, and it's a tight arm over. We love that. We love that. That's a great rep by him, right? That's a great rep by him. That's the one on the sled. Flat step, strike, bang, tearing off the block. Tearing off the block. We like that. Could have been a better step here. He does a good job with his hands. He's still getting driven out though. He's too high, right? But he's setting the edge. It's a good job by those guys. Right, short stick is on the way. I'll roll through some of this stuff so you get some pass rush, right? All the kids want to rush the passer, right? Everybody wants to rush the passer, so we'll get going, right? So good and bad on this clip. 56, minus, 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 minus. So for this guy, he's got to get into what? B gap, 1 gap movement. Our 3 technique, we have him in a 2 technique, right? To even it out, right? He's going to the A, this guy's going to the B. So right here, this is the turnout block that we saw on what? In the practice film. So if this guy turns out, you need to strike, push his ass into the B gap, cheek, put his cheek into the B gap, push, and then cross tear. Because right now, this running back cuts back. We're in a bad way. Yeah, this guy's making them correct. You got a guy fitting off the back. All is good there, but that's a bad rep by this guy. Bad, right? This guy, he can be better with his hands. I don't like that he's just ripping and running. Better with his hands. So like those are 2 bad reps. Bad here, okay there. Makes him play happy and short. Nice job. Use your hands, right? Use your hands. Right, another good clip right here. I like this one. This is 52. This is John Stanza, right? So John, right, flat step, strikes the inside pad. But like him to what? Arm over. Because I do think if you rip, you try and throw and rip, they're going to hold you, right? They're going to hold you, right? So strike, separate, tear. Violent arm over, wipe it down. But a good job once he tears off, towards the back. Second, keep fast, shoulder turn. Arm over, go flat down the LOS. That's a good job by him. That's a good job by him. You can look at it here. It's a full line movement. So 5, that's an okay job. Flat step, vertical, right? He's the arm over. And like 56 here, he's going from a 6-side to a 9. This is a bad rep by him, right? So for him, right, this guy's coming to him. I don't like guys chasing. You want to see square shoulders. When he steps and you see any part of that man coming to you, just cross face. Because right now he's striking and he's getting his shoulders turned, speaker underneath him, and then he's getting mollywop, right? Nice arm over, but he's only getting over his blocks. Both of these guys are working up. Look out. Short stick, I think this is, let's get this one. Short stick jab 2 or 3 technique, right? So now we're going away, right? So now we're going to see some run 2. That was all run away, right? For the most part. Striking, crosshair. Now we're going to have these guys zone 2, right? So right here, 92, right? We tighten them up, right? We tighten them up. They were running a lot of what? Pin pull into the boundary, right? So we were tightening up guys to cheat them over there, right? So for these guys, right? Flash step. Hey, this guard comes to. Better job now what? Chasing. Going off the last rep we just saw. Flash step. Vertical. Stay square. Use your hands. Love it. This basically looks like a great coach, right? Right? Flash step. Vertical. This is bad, right? This is bad. You can see it, right? So like right here, he's going down. Just get vertical. Play off the next man. And sometimes like he's going to be there, but don't chase with your hands. You can't do that. Just beat him across his face and put your hands back to the next man. So good clip back flip, right? Good clip back flip. Right? We got one here, right? So flat step, right? Even here, he's working into a what? Double. Ooh, right? So flat step. He feels him zone to him. Don't chase. Strike the man, right? That you're stunting towards. Play through. He comes off. Show color. Right? He does a good job of putting his eyes and color back to the gap. When he cuts up, cut up. Always trying to strike one man on the double team for the scoop blocks. Do 2. right? In here, right? And he's zone 2. Good job not chasing. And you can start to see 92 is kind of playing a lot faster than other people. Right? Recruiting makes us all better. Coaches, right? So flat step, vertical, strike, right? Set an edge, okay? Ball cuts up, you cut up. It's a nice tight arm over. Okay? You can see here, just talking double team, right? So this guy's just playing a 3 technique, right? Gets vertical, strike separate. This is base 3 technique too. No movement here, okay? Right? Just coaching it up. Strike, play through the man on, how we teach it. You strike, man on, boom, strike, separate. You feel the bump from the tackle, the adjacent offensive lineman. Press, work your hip back in there. Once there's separation, tight arm over. As soon as you feel that guy come up, tight arm over. And then you can see here, right, he's working away, just another good flip. And you can see both these guys are doing the same thing. 3 techniques working to the A, 2 wide working into the B, right? So it's the same exact technique. Watch the difference, right? Better step, right? Better step, and what? More explosive. Now, hey, good job not chasing this guy. We agree. But one thing he's going to do is when he steps, doesn't chase, get your eyes to the next man and stay square. Don't turn your shoulders and go hit that guy. If he doesn't come, get vertical. Right? Get vertical. Oh shit, no one's coming to put my foot in the ground. They made a tackle. That could have been a 0-yard gain. And like right here, this guy chases, right? Go ahead and just toss that man, right? Like this center is tracking back to this 2-out. Bang, bang. Like if this guy played like this guy, that's like the Jadeveon Clowney clip where he gets the fumble, right? After the big hit. Short jab again. Right, so I think this guy, right? And now it's the same conceptually, right? Of that U-turn that I talked about before. So when this 3 technique, they didn't do a good job. When I say 3 technique, moving to a 3 technique. 2 wide, moving to a 3 technique. One gap alignment, right? So we saw before the guy pulled to him, right? Get vertical, right? Same thing here. If you cross his face, he pulls to you, get his hip pocket, trying to penetrate. You love that. You love that. You know there's going to be a what? Big dog, set an edge, and hang down. So naturally he starts to get vertical and makes the play in the back. Any questions on the run? Nothing? Okay. Please ask. If you have any, right, so pass rush progression, just going to show you some drills again, right, then we're going to some game clips. So for you guys, right, this is kind of like our pyramid, right, like get off, pad level, pursuit, right, eyes, hands, hips, feet, we already talked about it. Now when you talk the pass rush progression, right, finishing, right, the whole triangle going in one direction, CTD, close the distance to you and the offensive lineman as fast as possible, right? Reacting to the offensive line is what? Set, right? Engaging with the move and then finishing on the what? Ball, right? The quarterback, okay? Hits, hurries, hands, right? So for us, if we can hit the QB, beautiful. If we can hurry up his throw, beautiful. If we can affect his hand, that's great. Obviously, we want what? Sacks, right? Sacks are great, but 3 other ways that you can disrupt the quarterback and make him uncomfortable, okay? Of course, business speed. One thing that we always talk about in the States, rather have a what? More narrow base, more forward lean, so less weight on the insteps, more forward lean on the balls of your feet. Really trying to drive off that front foot, right, and drive that back foot over. We'll see some drills coming up. Always talking about firing out, not up, right? Firing out, not up. So a couple of drills here, right? We'll have guys on the step over, right? Guys on the step over. Just a drill that you're what? Driving your foot forward, right? So what we'll do, right, is put their foot all the way up to the step over to make sure that they're not stepping out, right? We want them to drive over the step over, right? And what they're doing here, you can see me, I'm pointing at the guys back here. Like we'll have different keys for them, right? I told you whistle. Like I'll tell the guys, hey, you key in the near knee. That's the first thing that's going to move when he's going to give you a pass set, right? So key the knee, transition your eyes up to the hands, right? And then your shoulder. That's our eye progression when we're getting off the rock. So this is just keying the knee, getting off the rock, trying to tag the hip, right? To keep your chest down. Chest down. Same thing here is doing it on the ball, right? Like this, now we got guys right next to each other just to build a little competition, right? These guys are talking shit to each other. We love that, right? And then now, same thing, we're just putting some moves into it. right? So we're just making a chop club, right? And I like this, right? So like right here, we're going to talk moving in a second. One step vertical, pressing off of it, right? Hitting the guy with the club. But you see how like this guy's getting vertical. This guy's like, he's being soft. He's like messing around with his feet, right? Slow with his feet. Like that's bad. That's bad. Just go around, right? That's bad. Right? We like the first guy. Right? Same thing here. Right? We're just clubbing the bag, and then we'll have another coach, right? Having an arm up to just be, hey, you work one move. Sometimes the offensive line is going to shoot his hands again. So then just be active with your hands, whether you hit with the club or a swipe, right? Just being active with your hands. Right, so just talking get off here, right? I like this. You look at the rush defensive here, or rush defensive end, I'm sorry, but it's kind of the boundary. Right, so pushing off your front foot, right? Getting vertical. You can see him just being active with his hands, right? And then leaning, running the hoop to the quarterback, right? Leaning and running his hoop to the quarterback. You like that. Right, you can see at the end what's he reaching for, the elbow. Right, so not a sack, no, not at all. This was actually a 1st and 10, right? So, hey, you hurried up the quarterback. Now, 2nd and 10. A lot of offensive coordinators, that's like 3rd down to them. They're trying to get a lot of, what? Yards back. So they're going to pass the ball. Ask the defensive line, you want to rush the passer on 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 10? 2nd and 10, coach. All right, get your ass going. Right, we talked about pursuit, just like this one right here, right? Like this one. Up the field, right? It's coming around. We're running a stunt. QB gets out, right? Like we talk to the guys about 3 things, and we have a guy that works with this Mike DeVito. What are the top 3 things in the NFL when they study correlate to sacks? And every kid's like, cross check. No, right? It's your get off, it's your pursuit, and your relentless effort. That was what the NFL told them, right? Hey, coach, the cross check, right? It's their moves. No, right? Oh, is it a spin move? No, right? It's just getting off the ball, having pursuit, right? And then being relentless in your effort, right? This is relentless. This is pursuit. It's a great job by him. Right, same thing here, right? We've got a little Tom game. I'll explain the Tom game for you guys too, right? We're running low on time, playing the last guy, right? So for us, right, 3 techniques, getting vertical. We're just looking at a Tom game where he's through the beat, where it's on this rush defensive end, you're up and under. So when we talk this game, right? When we talk this game, what we're trying to do is work the guard to start as that 3 technique. We want to attack the guard and win with speed. We'll tell this man to get vertical if you can. Chop that outside arm. While doing that, you need to be able to see where the tackle is. Because as you get vertical now, we want you to pick. Right? We want you to pick the hip of this tackle. Right, so we like this. So he's occupying the guard, then going to pick the hip of the tackle. Love that. Now, the most important thing, right, when it comes to a Tom game, some people call it text, or you, whatever you say, right, we call it you, right, for these guys, it's the eyes of the tackle, right? That's what we believe in, the eyes of the tackle. If the eyes of the tackle go out, that means he's now giving presence on the what? 3 technique, right? So we want this guy's eyes out, make him drift out to where now he can get picked. Eyes are out, right? That means you have to what? Sell your rush. We don't tell guys in our games, hey, 2 steps, right? Because you're going to have a fancy guy on 2 steps, do what? And he's not even a yard up the field. It's really what it is. He was one of them, right? He was one of them. Coach, I did 2 steps. Yeah, no 2 steps, right? And we even tell this guy, if you need to flash your hands this like 3 yards up the field, that's fine. That's fine. We're good with that. But a good job, right? So now, more often than not, when we run this U game, how we teach it is the guy who penetrates and picks, he's the guy coming through. Because this guard is in a predicament. Always trying to do this to the man side of the protection, right? Man side, right? Why? Because when this guy picks and he does a good job of getting off the rock, this guard either stays on the 3 technique. He stays on the 3 technique, this guy should come free. But when his eyes transition down, he's like, I'm bumping it, bump, bump, bump. And he bumps it off, right? And the other guy's getting picked, this guy should be coming free. That makes sense to you guys? So that's how we teach it. With the pick, right? We want the 3 techniques to attack the guard, right? But we got to get the eyes and the tackle outside. Right? Keep going through. Just more drills, right? To show how we're reacting right? So we have a general rule, right? See the offensive lineman's hand, we talk about the knee. As you rush the passer, you're keying the knee, bang. You gotta see if the hands are coming what? Up or low. Naturally, if the hands are up, you don't want to chop them. That means what? You're gonna raise your chest, right? So high hands will just swipe or will touch and go, right? Speed rush moves, right? If it's low hands, you have to what? Chop, dip your rib. Jab step, chop, all that good stuff, right? So see the offensive lineman's hands, are they up, are they down? See the set line, is he covering me up, right? Feel the slide, especially for the 3 technique. So right here, we're square shoulder. That means what? Win with speed, win with speed. So you can see these guys just swipe and run the hoop. Normal business, right? Normal business, just swipe, run the hoop, love it, swipe, run the hoop, love it. And then you can see on this next one, now you can see us, right? Almost jammed. Now we're covering them up. So you can see this guy, right? Right here covers them up, working the opposite arm and opposite pad. Does that make sense? Opposite arm and opposite pad. He covers me up, I'm going the inside. Work that opposite number. Right, you can see it there. Right, good job by 92. Right, trying to give him a better look at the low hands. Right, well, not an offensive line. Right, but it's going there, right? Going on the opposite side. Right, and then just having drills where they're reacting to it. Tell these guys, hey, go straight back. So they react to it. Right, hey, you're covering you up, react to it. Business there. Right, and then same thing for the defensive ends. Like we give them our general rule, hey, your aiming point's 4 yards behind the tackle. So win with speed. If he covers you up, now you do what? You go inside. You go inside. Same thing when we're 1 gap movements, right? So I'm working to this A gap. If he crosses me, right, you feel the slide too, just bang it, you get burned. Bang it, you get burned. Just trying to show you some stuff as quick as possible. Right, we're just working progression. I always believe in working progression when it comes to pass rush. So this is just a swipe. When I say swipe, I just mean 2 hands, right? 2 hands. We tell these guys to use the forearms and just violently swipe across your body. I tell these guys, right? When it's a speed rush move, right? Square shoulder, right? For you guys, the harder you throw your hands, the harder your what? Hips turn, which means you're what? Reducing your circles, right? We all want to get skinny, right? So for us, right, as we swipe, bang, we want to see your hips fully turn, right? So this is just a progression of it, right? Just moving your hands, right? Like I like this by 99, you can see these guys, right? We want to see their shoulders fully turned. Now, we don't want to see them use their hands. Why? No one slaps on the football field, right? You use your hands to hit an arm, not as physical as your forearms. And if you miss, sometimes the hands are in different spots, more of a surface, right? So just a good job overall, right? Of these guys just swiping, right? Using their hands, now they're going off. Now they're swiping, stepping through. Swiping, stepping through. We always say flipping the hips and then stepping through, getting our toes and hips pointing towards the quarterback, right? So stepping through. So the progression of something like that is on my whistle. Hey, whistle, swipe, whistle, whistle. On the third one, you're swiping while stepping through. Makes sense for you guys? So just the progression of a speed rush move. You can see here, Coach Stevens, right? Former Diamond, also a Mayor, right? So for him, just using hands, right? And then they're going off. Same thing here, now we're talking chop club, right? So now we're telling these guys, hey, be a little bit tighter to the man, right? Now we're getting covered up. So now we want to what? Cross, right? Just teaching them, use your opposite arm, ready to fit. Okay, hey, whistle, chop, right? The opposite, toes pointed forward. Clubbing, stepping through, clubbing, but teaching it, right, where it's progression. All right, I'm not even like moving my feet. I push right off, don't jump, while chopping the opposite arm, then I'm stepping through. Right, so just teaching the progression and then having them walk into it, right, walk into it. You can see these guys, if you look at 90 right here, 90 is a good clip. Right, now it's your what? Your inside foot up. So now it's step, all shit will get covered up. Chop club, right? Having these guys walk into it to start so they kind of feel it. It's more of a controlled environment so that they can be a little bit faster going through it. Right now it's just active hands clubbing, right? So right? We put these pop-ups, we put the people, myself and coach, right, on a line. What we want these guys to do is use the line as a frame of reference to where you should always flip your hips and get skinny, right? So using that line as a frame of reference, so when I club, it's I'm clubbing, my hips are on the line, boom, get back, stepping vertical, staying on the line, right? Staying on the line. What does that also tell them? they're probably tight to the bag, right? Tight to the bag. So hey, club, right? Club, right? Swipe on high hand, swipe on the high hand, finishing the round. We teach long arm on a sled. This is the first time I did this. I like this. I think like a long arm, some people like a true long arm, right? Where you're putting your hand right down the middle of this guy's chest, right? Some guys have an inside member, whatever you guys want to do, right? But actually pressing in long arm, that's more of a power rush move, right? So like some guys will have what? 2 hands on, and I'm striking this dude, yucking him back, right? Trying to finish with my hips through and lifting. Right, if you have a guy who's long arms, bang, I long arm. And my hips are back, what's the offense I'm gonna do? Chop your shit down. Right, so on a long arm, you need to do what? Stab your hips, it's a power rush, bang, bang. Lift, always trying to finish with your hands above your eyes. Use the sled. Right, we have a fancy sled here, right? Where you can actually grab, right? Didn't have this until this past year, but just a good job of stepping through and then boom, just chop an arm and over. Right, more of a power rush demeanor, right? Then you can see these guys, whenever you long arm, right, what we're working, you have an offensive lineman's hands high up on you, right, high up on you. Now you naturally do what? Lift the elbow up, dip and rip underneath it, right? So high hands, lift the elbow. Low hands, what do? Chop them down. Little jab step, just put cones. Have you guys just walk through it. I do it on the line. Why? When we jab step, right, we try to freeze the feet of an offensive lineman. When we jab, we never want to cross his frame because then we're in the what? Attacking the full man. Going back to what you asked earlier, Coach, hey, half a man when you strike and run game, same thing in the pass rush. Always want to rush what? Half a man, right? So stand on the line, jab step, right? Head fake, you can flash your hands, right? And then just use me at the end. Same thing here, right? Just finishing around. Right, and then push, pull, push, right? Arm and over. I believe, what I believe in, is if you were throwing down and away from your body, you should be punching through it, right? If you're pushing somebody up, right, and you're underneath them, you can rip underneath. Right, and then just normal this. I'm not gonna have any pass rush clips, I apologize. I have it. We don't have any time, right? Is there anyone in here? Next? All right, we'll get through with this. Just rotate, right? So this is, hey, now I'm calling a rip. Right, I'm calling the rip. So now, hey, I swipe, right? Whatever I'm doing, I'm calling the rip, right? And for me, I have a lane to the quarterback. What I tell these guys is pry, just run the hoop, right? And when you pry, get your thumb to the ear hole. Try and break this motherfucker's actual arm, right? Lift his shit up, right? So I got a lane, right? I'm calling the rip. I'm prying, running the hoop, prying. And when I tell those guys that are in the fit, just push his hip around the hoop to simulate what? Offensive lineman's trying to drive you, right? Drive you up the field. Does that make sense? You guys good, right? So there's normal business. And I'll give them a whistle too. Some guys, they get all soft. Shoulder. I got it, right? You want to see him push the right now, right, you can see how these guys started? Right, just on this. He's got a lane in the quarterback, how he started right there. So if you're calling the rip, try and run through it. Normal business. Now we're teaching the dead arm, right? So when you say a dead arm, hey, I pried. Oh, I don't have a lane to the quarterback. I'm caught up in it. What do I need to do? If you want to cross the space, you can take it out and pump, right? Old school Reggie White, right? Or you can what? I gotta rush outside. First thing I gotta get outside cage rushing. So I'm prying, I'll drop my inside shoulder, flip my hips out, right, then arm over. So, but make sure these guys understand, they don't have a lane. They can't see the quarterback. Right, so good job of them there. Right, they're always trying to work, excuse me, in this one. Always trying to work drills where they're working elbow of the quarterback, right? Which would be in my last couple clips. So like right here, working pass rush, we do this in circuits, right? Ball disruptions will be part of our identity. So when we turn on the tape, you want to see our identity on tape. Ball disruptions are part of them. Even like the quarterback's throwing up. So what we'll do here is right front hand comes off the ball, right? And you're in the frame of the quarterback, right? We want you to reach and punch through the elbow with your outside arm. Secure with your inside arm, right? So this is the drill that does that, right? Works pass, rush, move, bang, right? Puts his hand through the elbow. Now, coach, what if his hand's not up? What we tell the guy is, now you secure with your outside and break down and through with your inside. Down and through with your inside. Right, and then just here. right? Class 1 here, apologize, right? Just working the backside secure, right? And breaking through the elbow. And whenever you want to, just make sure, hey, if you're about to start off the backside edge, right? Make sure you have some what? Leverage to keep it caged. Any questions? Ran through a lot. I know someone else is coming in here. So if you have questions, I don't have a card, I apologize. In all honesty, if you go on my bio, right, on our MeoMaine page, that's my legit email, right? So you can shoot me an email, please. I'm on Twitter as well, right? It's on the MeoMaine bio as well. You can shoot me a DM. I'm better on Twitter. I need to use it for recruiting. So for you guys, whatever you need, just call, shoot me a text, whatever you need. Honestly, we'd love to see you guys and your players on campus, whether it's a junior day, team camp, elite camp, please. And for you coaches alike, right? They say, hey coach, can I come up with one of my players? Sure. If you want to come up and sit in the meeting, please do so. Hop in the back of the meeting, see how we're coaching, understand the drills that we'll be doing on the field, right? So that you can go out there and it's just like, hey, we're just learning some football too, right? Any questions? All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you.